Hey, and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So, we just had an update to the Paranoid Delusion Companion, as per these patch notes just yesterday, where it was rebalanced along with the Mirage Weapons. They should all be single target companions now, and the Bar Delusion now has a proper attack. This companion is very special, pretty unique in the way that it takes on the copy of your character and will mimic one of your class's abilities. So its effectiveness will vary depending on class. For example, here as a rogue, I'm going to again have the exact copy of myself, which is really cool. Even if I go on the Celestial Wings mount and then I go and resummon my illusion, you can see that it's going to have the wings. That is just super cool right there. I wish we could have a fashion like this walk around, but I guess we have to settle for the wings flapping all the time. Now on the rogue here, the Paranoid Delusion will use the Duelist Flurry attack. So if you're familiar to the assassin, that's it right there. Duelist's Flurry, which is just a flurry of attacks with also that stealth effect in the end combo, as you see right there. But we need to check out the effectiveness then for all the classes, because their attacks are different. So I have my companions document here, and we're going to get the single target DPS for them. We have them currently at the bottom here with nothing. And each of the classes are going to have their own separate section. But again, if you're not that class, then you can't get that version of the companion on your class. Now, we can see that with the Ranger, it's going to use Rapid Strike. With the Cleric, it's going to use Lance of Faith. Paladin is Shielding Strike. Warlock is Eldritch Blast. Wizard is Chilling Cloud. Rogue is Duelist Flurry. Bard has been changed to this new Stab attack. Fighter's got Cleave and Barbarian's got Wicked Strike. Despite Wicked Strike not being a power that Barbarians can use anymore. It was from the previous version of the game prior to mod 16. You can see right here, this is like the Paranoid Delusion and that Stab attack. It's nothing spectacular. It's exactly the same as if I were to use my Mirage clone. It's going to have the same Stab attack as well there. And they look identical to the Paranoid Delusion. The only way you can tell Paranoid Delusion apart is, even from yourself, is that they have a bit of a faint purple glow about them. Ultimately, we end up with this, with the Paranoid Delusion across the different classes. The way I did test it is I compared versus the Pseudo Dragon having my baseline companion, and then we got the Paranoid Delusion. In some cases, Pseudo Dragon was doing less damage, in some cases it was doing more. And when we compare that versus the Paladin, where I am testing all of my companions for this entire document, we can then deduce that this would be the damage when the class has all the same stats, and you're comparing again what the Pseudo Dragon would deal versus Paranoid Delusion, and you end up with a pretty tight spread there. They're not that varying, except it seems to be the Wizards one is a bit less than everybody else by a bit, down to just about 35,000, nearly 36,000, where everybody else is 38,000 to 42,000. So with all of the values inputted there, we can sort it, and we end up with this. So pretty similar to what we had before on a lot of the classes, other than Barbarian and Fighter significantly improved to be a lot more in line with other companions at this ranking. And overall, you wouldn't lose that much damage using that versus any of these other top ones. Just be aware, you might want to use a support companion, or you might want to make sure you're using a ranged companion. Like the Greenscale Bowman, Charlton Hunter, if you can get her or have her, they are pretty good because they are ranged. And I have found this in a lot of results in content out there where bosses move around a bit. They always come out on top just because they don't have to follow the boss all the time to deal damage. And so they can just stand there always outputting damage. But it really varies on content, and I personally wouldn't go out of my way to get a Paranoid Delusion. Not right now, especially on PC. There's only 2 selling for over 14 million. I would wait until they re-release it. If the devs are actually happy with their balancing of it, I'm sure they will re-release it into the game. Currently it's not supposed to be available, maybe from Dragonflight bags. I don't have any proper evidence of such, but other than that, they were available a long time ago from like the Zen market, from other areas in the game, but currently they're not available, and they didn't want to make them available until they were rebalanced and working as intended. Now, they did say they rebalanced them to be single target companions. This would mean that the wizard and the warlock's paranoid delusions shouldn't be multi-target on their attack. We know warlock uses Eldritch Blast, which is a 3-hit combo, with the 3rd hit being multi-target. Same with the wizard being Chilling Cloud, with the 3rd hit being multi-target. So let's have a quick look at that. We get our paranoid to attack both of these. You can see with Chilling Cloud, and it does the 3rd hit there, and it doesn't hit the other dummy beside. Where if I do that, you can see I'm going to hit the dummy beside with my Chilling Cloud. So yes, they seem to have changed it to be just a single attack now. It's not going to splash over. I believe they did the exact same thing with, say, the Mirage weapons. They also no longer have that multi-target effect with those clones. If we use this here, we have our clone attacking. It does have Chilling Cloud. And yeah, it's also only going to hit one target. That was just for the balancing standpoint, I guess. So you're not getting extra multi-target damage from that versus some other classes, which could cause the companion to deal more damage than intended, or same with the Mirage weapons. So again, yeah, not exactly that spectacular, nothing groundbreaking. They're all very in line with other companions, and that's, yeah, how it should be. No real surprise there, to be honest. The devs have been getting better at balancing them and not ending up with massive outliers. Of course, they may unintentionally break one here or there by making adjustments in other areas of the game, just by how their coding is, and we can only expect that they'll get on it and fix it in no time. So if you have any of these top 20 here even, I would stick with them. Don't bother always chasing for the teeny bit of difference with companions. Like right now, yeah, okay, the Mage Slayer can output a bit more damage than, say, if you're running the Tomb Spider or Black Death Scorpion. But it's not that big a difference that you should be chasing for it. And you compare your own damage as well versus what your companion's outputting, and your companion's only outputting like 10% of yours. So like a 5% difference on your companion's damage is going to be less than 0.5% difference on your overall damage. So yeah, not a priority at all, these companions. Just try and get one of the top 20 here and you're good to go. Sure, the Paranoid Delusion does have the added cool factor. You have a copy of yourself, you have a companion which is just you, and you're fitted out with whatever fashion you are using. You even get, like right here, you have the Wondrous Dragon, so does my Paranoid Delusion. You switch to the Hawk, you resummon your companion, and it'll have the Hawk too. It's pretty neat. And for me, again, one of the coolest things is these wings mount. When you resummon the companion while you're mounted, your companion will also get the wings. Of course, not flapping like yourself because they're not mounted up, but they just have them like that, and they'll walk around with them too. Of course, they'll disappear if you move too much on your mount. And that's that. But again, right now, very expensive, and I would wait until they go on resale if you did want to pick one up just for that cool factor. Again, in terms of practicality, she's okay in terms of the test ranking versus all the others, and so she could be pretty effective in combat. With that, a special thank you to all of these channel members for your added support, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.